Oh, look, our heart is really coming together. I can already picture the joy you'll feel when you give this to your loved one. Alright, let's add some extra color to it. Good. Grab the matching thread from your kit to work on the edge. This edge uses just one simple technique. It's super easy. The main thing to watch is the height, since it's a heart shape, so don't rush it. Take your time for your special someone to add a beautiful touch to your gift of love. You can play your favorite music while you work, of course. If as you're making it, some parts end up taller or shorter, that's totally okay. Because later, if you prefer a neat look, you can trim it with scissors. If you want more of a tassel effect, you can leave it as is. Then we'll attach the back fabric. Alright, let's get started. Take out your thread. This is a long piece of thread. No need to cut it yet. We'll use it all the way until the end. Then you can cut it. Good. Get your tools ready. Your crochet hook. You're probably familiar with this. Good. Now, you can start anywhere. Top, side, or bottom, anywhere you like, since we're going all the way around. And we need to cover the entire edge. Just pick a spot that feels good to you. I'll show you how it's done. Alright, as we work, think of two areas, the part we've done and the empty part next to it. Your hook should go into the empty area. This makes the fringe flow downward. If you go into the stitched area instead, the fringe will point upward. If you prefer it upward, you can try that too. Good. Let me show you how to keep the fringe pointing down. Alright, now take your thread. Another important thing, where the hook comes out, is where each blade of fringe will be. So it needs to come out right at the edge of the stitched heart. Right here, we want it attached right at the base. Not here. We start here. For example, on another part of the edge, if we want the fringe here, the hook goes in from below and comes out right at the edge. So all the way around, every spot needs a fringe piece. Here, here, and here. Otherwise, you'll see gaps, and it won't look as nice. Alright, let's do it together. From underneath, let me get a close-up for you. Good. We're going into this square. Go in from the bottom and out through the top. Now, the hook should have a curve. Hook facing up. Then, we'll catch the thread with it. The latch is open. Make sure you're always at the very edge. Good. Let me show you again. Alright, let's try another spot. Got it? For example, here we go into the square it's using from underneath. Good. And come out right at the edge. Now, angle doesn't matter, diagonal or straight is fine. The key is that the hook tip comes out right on the stitched edge. Good. Then, hook tip facing up. Take your thread and place it on the hook. Good. Just like this. Then pull down and to the right. As you pull, you'll see the latch close over the thread and lock it. Good. Now give it a gentle pull. This forms a loop. A loop. There's your loop. Next, slide the hook to the left. Slide it until it's back through. Hook still facing up. Take the starting tail of your thread and lay it over the hook. Pull to the right again. The loop will close the latch on it. Then pull right. Good. Now, you've got your first little tassel. The thread is now secured. You can trim it later to any length you like. No problem. Don't stress about it. Alright, on to the next one. Work right next to the last one. For a thicker fringe, you can do two in the same hole. Good. Next, right next to it. Same idea, bottom to top. Come out here. Hook facing up. Now, use your finger to lift the thread, the long working thread, and pull it down. You'll see a loop form on your finger. Gently pull down to adjust the loop size. This loop becomes the length of your fringe piece. Leave it a bit long. It's fine. You can trim it later. Don't make it too short now. Now, make the loop on the hook smaller by pulling the long thread. Then, put the hook back into the hole. Catch the thread on the hook. Then, use it to pull the latch closed and pull it through. Then pull the long thread, and there's another fringe piece. Good. Let's keep going along the edge. Alright, like this. Open the latch again. Catch the loop and pull it through. Good. Then bring it all the way out. Good. And there's another one. Just keep going like this, all the way around. Once you've gone all around, If the fringe looks a bit thin, you can push it up and add another layer underneath using the same method. That will make it nice and full. So it's really up to you what kind of look you like. Once you know this technique, you can do anything. Good. Okay, let me show you another fun way. Hook into the next square the same way. Once it's in, take the long thread and do the same thing. Lay it over the hook or your finger. You can pull it really long. It's pretty cool. Then adjust it to the length you want. Isn't it amazing? Now, you can take the hook off. Okay, enlarge the loop that came off the hook and thread it through the previous loop. Pinch it and pull the long thread. Done again. 2 different methods. Let me show you once more. Hey, you can use either one. These are 2 techniques. Hook in the same way. Catch the thread and pull down, down, down. Wow! A huge loop. Then use the hook or just your hands. Tighten it up and there's another piece. Or use your hands. If it's too long, no worries. You have 2 options. 1, undo the base loop and start over. Or 2, it's okay if they're uneven. Because the final step is to cut the bottom ends even. See, we have loops here. And we'll trim them to finish if you prefer the loops uncut. Just trim any long ones and keep the loops. Alright, once more, hook in, always into the inner edge. Hook in, catch the thread, and pull it through. Hook goes back in, and pull it through again. It doesn't matter, another loop. Then we just look at this ring. Try to keep your loops even and straight. That makes the edge look best. Use the same method all around. Start from here, and keep going. If the fringe seems thin somewhere, and add another row below. It's your choice. When I see your finished edge, we'll move to the next step. In this way, our edge will look better. Okay, we use the same method to plant like this. Let's all start from here and continue to plant in this way. If you plant it here and you think the grass is a little thin, lift it up like this. After lifting it up, we repeat this technique from the bottom again and do another round. You can complete it according to your preference. When I see you finish later, we will start the next step.